Atomic habits. Welcome to this comprehensive exploration of atomic habits by James Clear. Over the next few minutes, we'll delve deep into the transformative ideas presented in this best-selling book about building good habits and breaking bad ones. Atomic Habits is more than just a self-help book. It's a practical guide to personal development that focuses on the power of small, incremental changes. Clear's central argument is that tiny improvements, when compounded over time, can lead to remarkable results. This concept forms the foundation of what he calls atomic habits. The book is grounded in scientific research from psychology, biology, and neuroscience, but Clear presents these complex ideas in an accessible and engaging way. He combines theoretical insights with practical strategies, making it easy for readers to apply these concepts to their own lives. The power of atomic habits. Clear defines an atomic habit as a little habit that is part of a larger system. The term atomic is used in two ways here. 1. Tiny, these habits are small and easy to do. 2. Source of immense energy or power. Just as atoms are the building blocks of matter, atomic habits are the building blocks of remarkable results. Clear emphasizes that even a 1% improvement each day can compound over time to create significant achievements. He illustrates this with a compelling metaphor. If you can get 1% better each day for 1 year, you'll end up 37 times better by the time you're done. Conversely, if you get 1% worse each day for a year, you'll decline nearly down to zero. The compound effect of habits. Clear illustrates how habits, both good and bad, compound over time. 1. Positive compounding. Productivity compounds. Automating an aspect of your work creates more free time to be productive elsewhere. Knowledge compounds. Learning one new idea opens the door to understanding related ideas. Relationships compound. Being a little bit nicer in each interaction can result in a network of broad and strong connections. 2. Negative compounding. Stress compounds. The frustration of bad traffic can ripple to how you talk with your boss and loved ones. Negative thoughts compound. Worrying about one thing leads to worrying about another and another. Outrage compounds. Consuming negative news can make you cynical about everything. Clear argues that habits are the compound interest of self-improvement. The effects of your habits multiply as you repeat them. They seem to make little difference on any given day, and yet the impact they deliver over the months and years can be enormous. The 4 laws of behavior change. The core of atomic habits is built around 4 laws for creating good habits and breaking bad ones. Let's explore each of these in detail. 1. Make it obvious. To create a good habit, use implementation intentions. This is a plan you make beforehand about when and where to act. The format is, I will behavior at time in location. For example, I will meditate for 1 minute at 7 a.m. in my kitchen. Use habit stacking. This technique involves linking a new habit to an existing one. The formula is, after insert current habit, I will insert new habit. For instance, after I pour my cup of coffee each morning, I will meditate for 1 minute. Design your environment. Make the cues of good habits obvious and visible. If you want to remember to take your medication, leave it where you can see it. Clear argues that many of the actions we take each day are shaped not by purposeful drive and choice, but by the most obvious option. To break a bad habit, reduce exposure to the cues that trigger the habit. If you want to watch less television, take the TV out of your bedroom. Use the inverse of habit stacking to break bad habits. The formula is, After trigger, I will, good habit, instead of bad habit. Clear emphasizes the importance of awareness in this law. He suggests creating a habits scorecard, a simple exercise where you list your daily habits and mark them as positive, negative, or neutral. This increases your awareness and is the first step toward change. 2. Make it attractive. To create a good habit, use temptation bundling. This involves pairing an action you want to do with an action you need to do. For example, only listening to your favorite podcast while exercising. Join a culture where your desired behavior is the normal behavior. The culture we live in determines which behaviors are attractive to us. Surround yourself with people who have the habits you want to have. Create a motivation ritual. Do something you enjoy immediately before a difficult habit to make the habit more attractive. To break a bad habit, reframe your mindset. Highlight the benefits of avoiding your bad habits to make them seem unattractive. Emphasize the negative consequences of bad habits to make them seem unattractive. Clear discusses the role of dopamine in habit formation. He explains that it's not just the reward itself, but the anticipation of the reward that gets us to act. Making habits attractive is about boosting that feeling of anticipation. He also introduces the concept of supernormal stimuli, exaggerated versions of reality that elicit a stronger response than the real thing. Understanding this can help us resist the pull of modern temptations that can lead to bad habits. 3. Make it easy. To create a good habit, reduce friction. Decrease the number of steps between you and your good habits. If you want to eat healthier, prep your meals in advance. Use the 2-minute rule. When you start a new habit, it should take less than 2 minutes to do. The idea is to make habits as easy as possible to start. Read 1 page, meditate for 1 minute, put on your running shoes. Automate your habits. Invest in technology and one-time purchases that lock in future behavior. Use automatic bill pay. Get a water filter to make drinking water easier. Unsubscribe from emails. Practice habit shaping. Start with an incredibly easy version of the habit you want, then slowly improve your performance over time. To break a bad habit, increase friction. Add steps between you and your bad habits. Unplug the TV after each use. Use a commitment device. Restrict your future choices to the ones that benefit you. For example, put your phone in another room while working to avoid distractions. Clear emphasizes that the most effective way to change a habit is to focus not on what's easy to do, but on what's easy to start. He introduces the concepts of decisive moments and the 2-minute rule to help make habits easier to adopt. 5. Make it satisfying. To create a good habit, use reinforcement. Give yourself an immediate reward when you complete your habit. This helps your brain associate the behavior with a positive feeling. Use habit tracking. Keep a record of your habit streak. Clear suggests using a calendar or habit tracker app to maintain a visual record of your progress. Never miss twice. If you miss one day, try to get back on track as quickly as possible. Use habit contracts. Make the costs of violating your promises public and painful. To break a bad habit, make it unsatisfying. Create a negative consequence, like a monetary fine, for failing to meet your habit goal. Find an accountability partner. Ask someone to monitor your behavior. Clear stresses the importance of immediate satisfaction in habit formation. The human brain has evolved to prioritize immediate rewards over delayed rewards. The more immediate pleasure you get from an action, the more likely it is to become a habit. He also introduces the concept of the habit line, the point at which a new habit becomes automatic. Understanding this can help in maintaining motivation during the habit formation process. Identity-based habits. One of the most powerful ideas in Atomic Habits is the concept of identity-based habits. Clear emphasizes the importance of focusing on who you want to become, rather than what you want to achieve. Focus on identity. Instead of setting a goal to read more books, focus on becoming a reader. Instead of trying to run a marathon, focus on becoming a runner. Every action is a vote. Clear explains that every action you take is a vote for the type of person you wish to become. Each time you write a page, you're a writer. Each time you program, you're a programmer. Habit formation is the process of embodying a new identity. The more you repeat a behavior, the more you reinforce the identity associated with that behavior. This approach shifts the focus from achieving specific external results to changing your beliefs about yourself and your identity. Clear argues that this is a more effective and sustainable approach to long-term change. He introduces a two-step process for changing your identity. 1. Decide the type of person you want to be. 2. Prove it to yourself with small wins. Clear also discusses the concept of identity conflict and how it can sabotage habit change efforts. He provides strategies for aligning your habits with your desired identity. The plateau of latent potential. Clear introduces the concept of the plateau of latent potential to explain why habits often seem to make no difference until you cross a critical threshold. This idea helps to address the frustration many people feel when they don't see immediate results from their efforts. He uses the analogy of an ice cube melting. If you raise the temperature from 25 to 31 degrees, the ice cube doesn't change. But at 32 degrees, it starts to melt. The previous temperature increases were still making a difference, but the effects weren't visible until the melting point. Similarly, habits often appear to make no difference until you cross a critical threshold and unlock a new level of performance. Clear encourages readers to trust the process and focus on systems rather than goals. This concept is closely tied to the idea of valley of disappointment, the period where you feel you're putting in effort but not seeing results. Understanding these concepts can help maintain motivation during the challenging early stages of habit formation. Advanced tactics. Clear doesn't just stop at the 4 laws. He also provides several advanced tactics for mastering the subtle art of behavior change. 1. The Goldilocks rule. Human experiences peak motivation when working on tasks that are right on the edge of their current abilities. Not too hard, not too easy, just right. 2. The paperclip strategy. Clear shares a story about a successful stockbroker who, early in his career, set out to make 100 sales calls each day. He kept a stack of 120 paperclips and moved one paperclip to a new stack after each call. This visual reinforcement helped him stay motivated and consistent. 3. Habit tracking. Clear emphasizes the power of measuring your progress. When we measure our progress, we are effectively celebrating our small wins, which encourages us to continue. 4th habit. Stacking 2.0. This advanced version involves not just stacking a new habit onto an existing one, but creating entire routines by stacking several habits together. The Seinfeld strategy, named after comedian Jerry Seinfeld. This strategy involves marking a calendar for each day you stick to your habit. As your chain of marks grows, you'll be motivated to keep the streak alive. 6. The pointing and calling technique. This strategy, borrowed from the Japanese railway system, involves physically pointing at something and calling out your actions. This raises awareness and reduces mistakes. Conclusion. Atomic Habits offers a comprehensive approach to personal development through the power of small, consistent changes. by understanding and applying the 4 laws of behavior change, focusing on identity-based habits, and trusting the process of gradual improvement. Clear argues that we can transform our lives one tiny habit at a time. As we conclude this summary, consider how you might apply these principles in your own life. Which habits would you like to build or break? How can you make these changes obvious, attractive, easy, and satisfying? Remember, as James Clear says, you do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. May this book inspire you to create systems that support the person you want to become, and may your atomic habits lead to exponential growth in your life. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of atomic habits. Here's to your journey of continuous improvement and personal growth.